It is showtime, and we are live. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. I can't even beat Chels here, and I set up the damn stream. Before we get started, read the disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I am certainly not your financial advisor. I just do a lot of research. Please use this as entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you very much. Chels, what's going on? Nas, what's going on? Rusty, Tommy Dimes, hanging out with us instead of going to the track. Rusty, Missy Ledger. Tommy, you know what? You like Cisco also. They're reporting tomorrow. Okay? Reporting tomorrow. I think we're going to like what we hear. There is a lot to go over. There's a lot to go over. We're going to get into a lot of things. Exhibition, sorry if I mispronounced that. Alternative Asset Weekly will be making a return this week, I believe. Be on the lookout for it. Be on the lookout. Turtle, what's going on? All right. Stocks are red. No shit. Okay. When you get a CPI print like that, that is going to happen. We have oil on WTI, which is West Texas Intermediate, 101.85. We are back over 100. Brent, 108.08, approaching 110. Gasoline, 354. Nat gas, 283. On the indices, the S&P is down 65. The NASDAQ is down 419. What did anybody think was going to happen? Hollis, Jarvis is not saving anybody's portfolio today. And I got news for everybody. The algos may get a hold of this. It could get worse tomorrow. We're going to get into all of it. I am not going to just talk about, S&P 8,000, even though I still think that we are going to get to 8,000. The CPI print came in worse than expected, and that is bad news. The Russell is down. The NASDAQ, as I talk, 527 now on the 100, 419 on the composite. Individual companies. Technology is getting slaughtered, down 3%. Consumer discretionary down 1.25%. Industrials down 1.5%. Materials down 1.5%. Let's see. What is actually happening today? We'll go percentages. VG making a run. Next decade pumping a little bit. All right. Did Venture Global report this morning, or they're reporting after hours? Let me say. I know they're reporting today. VJ. Are they not reporting today? Why did I think they were reporting today? They reported this morning. Okay. Revenue, 59.2% year-over-year growth, $4.6 billion, beat by $750 million. GAAP EPS, 19 cents, beat by 5 cents. It was a double beat. Consolidated adjusted EBITDA, full year 2026, 8.2 to 8.5 billion. I like it. I mean, I like Venture Global. I'm in it. I was considering buying more. I didn't. I am working on a very long piece on energy for my Substack for Thursday. The new short-term energy outlook came out, and it was a wealth of information. So I am currently in the middle of crafting something. Ray, what is going on? Hopefully you and Michelle are having a good day. Energy Transfer, up. Mo is up. Verizon is up. All the boring companies are up. All of the Boring companies. Meta's not boring. Meta's up. All right, let's get to what everybody cares about. Alphabet is down. Microsoft cannot catch a bid. Fortnite's given a little back. Nvidia is giving a little back. 216. Service meow for Matt. Giving a little back also. Rocket Money, you can't even say they're giving anything back. Rocket Money is still 115. Amazon 264 makes no sense to me. I'm sorry, makes no sense. Iran, not surprised. Palantir said it was going to be between 100 and 150. I still believe that. Salesforce getting hit again. Reddit 155. Thank God they have big premiums on the calls. Zeta, the market hates software. Do not expect Zeta to do anything right now. SoFi, not even Noto can backstop this thing. Not even Noto can backstop this. This guy just buys. He never sells, and he can't even backstop it. I got to tell you, I think SoFi is an incredible company. I think they're going to be range bound for a little bit. I'm going to have a pre-recorded video with a very special guest about SoFi coming out later this week. I believe we're shooting tomorrow, and I'm excited for this conversation. Tesla giving a little back. AMD, my arch nemesis, 439. I can't even say that that's surprising given the run. Hood, 77. Oracle, down almost 5%. Now, 184, nothing to sneeze at. It was at 135, can't be mad. Nebius, cannot be mad at that. Let's get into Micron and SanDisk. I know a lot of people were buying Micron at 800 or close to 800, FOMO, whatever you want to call it. If you were buying it yesterday into the rip, you should love it today. Nothing changed over a one-day period. And I cannot stand this with the market. Nothing changed in their business model. If anything, the business model got stronger if the reports about Samsung are true. 800 or 743 is not that big of a difference. The fact of the matter is this could just be algorithms. I don't know. Nothing in the demand cycle, nothing in the numbers has changed. SanDisk, same thing. Nothing in the numbers has changed. And this could be profit taking. This could absolutely be profit taking. CoreWeave, down almost 10%, 103. So let's get into, is it worth buying QQQM over QQQ? I mean, I've never even thought about it. I have no idea. Oh, whoa. We got some gamers up in here. Are we going to have to play some League of Legends? Is that what you're telling me? We're going to have to make a Milk Gang League of Legends team? I can make a comeback. Just saying, I can make a comeback. Need a couple of days to get brushed up on things, see if they add any new characters, but I can make a comeback. Then you got Michael Burry. And I got this alert this morning on my phone. Michael Burry urged investors to scale back exposure to surging technology stocks, saying the current market environment has reached historically dangerous extremes. I'm going to get mad at the next couple of words. Reminiscent of prior speculative bubbles. Michael Burry, Dr. Michael Burry, please, open invitation. I know you do not need my money. You have way more money than me, infinitely more money. I'll pay for your plane ticket. Come sit down with Amit and myself on basis points. I'll pay for your plane ticket. Please, I will, 3-hour conversation. We won't cap it at an hour. We unedited. We will just go. I want to have a conversation with you. If you don't want to fly out, open invitation to discuss on the channel. I seriously want to pick your brain. As I disagree, respectfully. Reminiscent of prior speculative bubbles. The famed investor, best known for predicting the 2008 housing collapse, said investors should, quote, reject greed, end quote, as enthusiasm around artificial intelligence and momentum driven trades pushes valuations sharply higher. Okay. Hollis, I don't know if I have that type of money to send him on a private jet, but him and I can figure something out. I got a problem with this. Oh, look, I have a real problem with this. And the problem I have is this is not a speculative bubble. Are the markets at all-time highs? Yes. Are the markets consistently rolling lower throughout history? Yes. Are there sell-offs and could there be a 5, 10, 15% dip? Yes. Nobody ever said there isn't. Anybody who said the markets are just going to go up is stupid. Okay. When I say S&P 8,000, I fully expect there to be absolute periods of frustration, periods where volatility gets the best of it, algos taking us down, the cops blaring their sirens coming for me. Look, the market should not go straight up, but we are in a very strong earnings cycle. These companies are generating larger earnings, larger revenue, and great growth rates. This is not being fueled by debt. And I'm going to go through a few things. And every time we hit new highs in the history of the markets have gone down. The markets do not just go up, nor should they. You do not want that. But structurally, this is a healthy market. If the markets went up today, I would have been very worried. I would have been very, very, very worried if the markets went up today. Where do we stand right now? This is where we stand. The April CPI print came in hot, everybody. And there are companies that I think have no business being where they are on the upside and on the downside. Sometimes, and I'm going to do a dedicated video on this, sometimes you can analyze a business and find what mathematically makes the most sense in the world, yet something that does not make any sense can 10x or 5x or double, while something that you're buying for basically pennies on the dollar based on profitability doesn't do anything. That's what makes a market. But the headline print today, 3.8% year over year on CPI. The headline came in 0.6% month over month higher. This is the fastest annual print since May 2023. Core, 0.4% month over month, 2.8% year over year increase. That's above the 3% and 2.7% expectations. Energy alone drove roughly 40% of the headline gain, with gasoline up 28.4% year over year. Food at home, 0.7% month over month increase, the biggest monthly jump since August 2022. Shelter, 0.6% after softening for months. This matters because it's not Iran driven. Shelter is not Iran driven. We can say food because of fertilizer and transportation costs. We can say energy because of oil. You cannot say shelter is up because of the Iranian conflict. You just can't do it. Real wages down 0.5% month over month, down 0.3% year over year. Workers are losing ground. And oil keeps climbing. We're at 101. It's up 3 to 4% on the day. Brent's over 108. Gas at the pump averaging 450. The U.S.-Iranian ceasefire is on life support per President Trump's words. Iran's last counteroffer includes war reparations, full sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, release of frozen assets, lifted sanctions. There is a 0% chance President Trump is agreeing to that. 0%. The straight traffic remains at a near standstill. 20%, 20% of the global energy supply, a very large supply into China, very large supply into India, is choked off. Got news for you. Why we can't have nice things? And when I say why we can't have nice things, such as a rate cut, it's because the 10-year is back up. It was over 4.5% at one point today. Let's see where it is now. Treasuries. Or maybe it was the 30-year that was approaching it. The 10 years at 4.42%. The 30 is at 4.98. I mean, this is not good. The 2-year, 3.95. The Fed fund futures, I mean, I don't even want to consider what these are even saying, but we're going to show it. I haven't looked this morning because I'm going to get aggravated. And I might as well get aggravated because I think all you're going to find it funny. So let's say. Good old CME Group. Good old CME Group. July, basically no cut. September, basically no cut. And you see the difference? You see the difference in July and September? To make it a little bigger so everybody can see that difference. In July, there's a 0% chance of a hike. And in September, you have an 8.1% chance of a hike now. I mean, not good. October, oh, cool. 20.5% hike. December, they really think we're getting a hike. They really think we're getting a hike. 30.9% one rate hike, 5% two rate hikes, 0.2% three rate hikes. This is a structurally different environment than we were at the beginning of the year. Now, if we go out to 2027, go to June, they still have a 50% plus chance, more like a 60% chance rates are higher than they are today a year from now. I mean, going out to December, think about how much this has changed. This is structurally changed so much. Now, I think they're wrong. I think CME Group is wrong. But you cannot ignore the fact that they're making the case and it feels like rate cuts are off the table. I mean, we see it in real time. They are pricing in a hike. Concentration risk is now showing its teeth. There's not a lot of stocks advancing today, certainly not technology. People are taking profits. Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, they're not doing anything. These are the biggest stories driving the tape, everybody. Inflation and the Fed. The miss on core, the miss on CPI, spooking the bond market. You have tariff-sensitive categories, and it's all showing up alongside the oil shock. Supposedly, Fed Chair nominee Kevin Warsh is going to look through the energy shock. That doesn't mean that other members are going to go with him. It really doesn't. Here's where I'm going on this. And give me a little bit of rope, okay? Let's go back and see what the markets are doing while I give you my assessment of what we're in for. We still have time in the game. The S&P at 73.54 should not scare anybody. We are still at all-time highs. Companies did not pull their guidance for the year. I'm going to call bullshit on rate cuts. That does not mean the story is solidified. That does not mean we are not getting them, okay? I have always said Memorial Day. Memorial Day is when? The 25th? Is that Memorial Day this year? The 25th? Let me look at a calendar. 25th is Memorial Day. You need this solved by Memorial Day. And once it gets solved, we're going to see oil come down hard. I don't know when that's going to happen, though. And if oil does not come down, you are not going to get gasoline prices down. You are going to see the CPI print come in very hot next month. We just got a taste of it. It exceeded where we thought it was going to be this month for the April print. Now, you're going to get, if oil does not come down, a print probably 4.4 or 4.5% in May for April. It is what it is. That's what the data is showing us. I mean, we just moved to 3.8% year over year and an increase of 6% month over month. Why wouldn't we have more than a 6% increase month over month with energy running hotter? Of course we're going to. Oil needs to come down. There is no question about it. If inflation runs to 4.5%, it is going to spook the hell out of the market. And we could see, I mean, this is what Tom Lee may be thinking. And I don't agree that we're going to go into a bear market. I think, hey, Star, what's going on? Turtle, what's going on? I do think the economy is strong. I do think the market is strong. I do believe that structurally, earnings are strong and guidance is not going to get pulled. Perception is that inflation is going to continue to go up. As inflation continues to go up, the idea of rate cuts goes away. That is going to be a shock on the market. Now, we could go down 10%. We could go down 15%. I don't think we get a bear market. But I don't think this changes S&P 8,000. This is just the next couple of months, my opinion. I'm not moving off of S&P 8,000. And if we do get 5 or 10% down, I am sure that the headlines are going to be the sky is falling. I am sure that the headlines are going to be bubble, blah, 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 blah. It's not. It's not. Input costs are up. Oil touches everything from the keyboards we're typing on to the clothes we're wearing to heating our homes. Oil is the lifeblood of the economy. Regardless if you want to believe it or not, it is the truth. Traditional sources of energy control the world. You need good prices on that to make the unit of economics and margins cooperate. When we see oil come down, it's going to, at this point, it is probably going to take a good 3 months for the inflation read to get structurally lower. But once it does, and I do think it will happen going into Jackson Hole. That's why I've said that I do believe September is going to be the first rate cut that we get. We'll see what happens. PB, thank you very much, my friends. VG did have solid earnings, new contract deals. It's doing well. VG is doing well. And yes, we could see, even though I don't think we're going to see it, we could see a recession. Typically, oil shocks have led to recessions. I think the economy is too strong right now. And everybody knows my feeling on this. I really wish the Fed would not screw around with rates. 2.5% is the optimal for all sides of the trade. They screw around with it too much. I don't know what Warsh is going to be able to do. I think that he's going to have a very hard time convincing the rest of the Fed members to cut, even as CPI increases. But If you're not a trader, if you are a long-term investor, this is a great time to really think about adding. And this is why with S&P, buying every 2 weeks just works over the long term structurally because you get to buy when it's up, when it's down, when it's sideways. That's one of my favorite ways to invest, if not my favorite way to invest. The CPI print was ugly, everybody. There is no question about that. The CPI print was ugly, but it's not the end of days. It is not the end of days. 14,000 steps. I guess Amit is trolling me right now. And Shells must be freaking laughing her ass off because I got abused in Chicago, everybody, just so you know. Dougie, myself, Mike, Davis, and Paul walked to go see the Bean in Chicago, which I had no idea what the hell the Bean was. I think that there's a picture of it. Hollis was recovering. I think Dougie put it on X. I'll find it. And then after going to the Bean, we met up with Shells and Arthur, and we ended up going to the Navy Pier. And I got to tell you, it was a long walk. It was a really long walk. And I did over 16,000 steps that day, and it was killing me. And I don't know why I can't find the picture of it now. If anybody has the picture, send me a link. You know what I'm talking about, the album cover picture. I'm trying to find it right now. Oh, I found it. It's actually a great picture. If this doesn't look like an album cover, I don't know what does. If this does not look like an album cover, I don't know what does. Is that the Nirvana album cover? Is that why that looks so familiar to me? June, what's going on? I'm beneficial. What's going on? Michelle, I'm glad you're freaking laughing at me. Raven, what's up? Parzival, what's up? Yeah, so this was the album cover that we had, and I gotta tell you, I was dying. 16,000 steps is no bueno. Okay, I should start walking more. I know. 16,000 steps, a lot of steps. I'm just saying, it's a lot of steps. And I am holding Dunkin' Donuts. I never really drink Dunkin' Donuts, but I do like their tea, and my voice is still recovering. So, anyway. Ooh. OpenAI's Sam Altman to take the stand. Let's see what the hell is going on here. Let's see.
Elon Musk's lawsuit against OpenAI. Kate Rooney outside the courthouse in Oakland with now today's check. And Kate, we're highly anticipating what Sam Altman will say.
Seema, that's exactly right. So perfect timing for you guys to come to us. Sam Altman was just sworn in. He is on the witness stand officially. Brett Taylor, the chairman of OpenAI, actually just walked out behind us. But today, we do expect to hear from Altman, and he's going to get a chance to really tell his side of the story and respond to what has been weeks of criticism so far throughout this trial. Some of his former colleagues, you had former board members testify under oath that Altman at times was untrustworthy, and lawyers for Musk do keep bringing up Altman's firing from OpenAI. That was 3 years ago, and what employees sometimes call the blip. Musk, as backdrop here, suing OpenAI and Sam Altman on grounds that they allegedly betrayed the company's founding agreement, they being Greg Brockman as well, other executives. And Musk has called it essentially stealing a charity. That has been his argument. OpenAI's defense team has highlighted that there was never a signed contract. It was mostly emails, informal talks as well. They have argued that Musk left. This is Altman's lawyers arguing this, that Musk left because he would not get the reins to the company, and that Musk himself actually entertained, he supported that for-profit plan at times. Attorneys for OpenAI have really been grilling witnesses so far about Musk's memory of all of these events and tried to paint him as just a disgruntled competitor at this point who is suing to destabilize OpenAI while at the same time competing with xAI. We may also get some more details about the value of Sam Altman's personal stake. There were some questions around Greg Brockman's stake as well. And it comes as the Journal reporting today that congressional Republicans are now looking into Altman's potential self-dealing at OpenAI as the company invests in a lot of startups that Sam Altman has personally backed as well. They are looking into potential conflicts, according to the Journal. This news and the reprisal of all of this board drama does come at a time when Sam Altman is trying to win the trust of enterprises. He's trying to win the trust of Wall Street amid a potential IPO. If the jury and judge in this case side with Musk, consequences are steep. Altman, as far as the remedies, could lose his job. Musk explicitly is asking for the removal of Altman for leadership and then also looking for more than $100 billion.
$134 billion in damages. $134 billion in damages. Elon. I don't even know what to say of that.
In remedies, guys, back to you.
A lot at stake. Kate, thank you. That's the latest on that trial. Here, as we watch stocks.
All right, I will. You know what? One more thing I want to see real quick. Let me bring it back.
Most of the damage right now seems to be the heaviest damage seems to be contained to the SMH names, and these are stocks that are up 200%. So for people to be sitting in a Micron down 7% from its high, obviously in a perfect world, everyone sells at the top. But the reality is, live by the gun, die by the gun. If you're very heavily positioned in these stocks, you've done extraordinarily well. And this is the give back. And you want to say, oh, it's just CPI. You can do that. I don't think the reason matters as much. And I think when you're riding crowded trades like these, the really key thing to do is not try to guess when it'll end, because obviously nobody knows how to do that. But position size, like how much do I have? Do I have so much more of Western Digital today than I had when I put the trade on 3 months ago? Of course you do, because it's gone parabolic. So you can manage, you could stay in these positions if you want to. You can remain allocated to the AI CapEx theme, but recognize it's not early. Way more people have stock now to sell than you're going to get new buyers. And if you have an appropriate position size, you can live through it.
All right. Josh pointing out some of the SMH names. There's a lot of cross.
So I agree with what he said to a degree. And a lot of people are up a lot of money. You have to think people are going to take profits at some time. This isn't just CPI. CPI is the leading story. CPI is probably triggering this and causing people to say, you know what, I'm in Micron at 200. Maybe I'm up 4x. Maybe I take a little bit off the table. And you know how I feel about this. Once people start selling, the algos take control. You get stop losses being hit. What changed overnight? I mean, I'm certainly not bearish. I'm a permabull. Okay? I'm a permabull. I recognize the market can go down 10 or 15% in the next month. Okay? It absolutely can. At the same time, Trump can come out and start tweeting from China and things can go back to all-time highs. We're still roughly at all-time highs. But AMD at 434, down 5.34% today, nobody should be complaining. Here's why nobody should be complaining. AMD. Oh, really? You guys want, not you guys, but just in general, people want to start screaming bear market. Look at that. This was at 196 March 30th. What are we doing? What are we doing saying that, oh no, this little dip, oh no. Micron, same thing. Oh no, we were at 370 on March 6th. We went up to 461 on the 17th. We fell to 321 on the 30th. and then we reached 818 and we pulled back to 726. Oh no. Oh no. That's not a dip. You're still up a tremendous amount of money. Most people did not buy here. Most people bought over here. So this is nothing to get scared about. This is when you start looking at it and say, okay, it reached a certain point. Maybe it scales back. Maybe it takes a breather, but at 7.5 times or 7.58 times earnings, hardly seems overvalued. Hardly. Right now, I think that we have a breathing opportunity happening. CPI is the catalyst for it. Nobody knows what's going to happen with Warsh when he gets in, because he's going to get in. Okay. And then you have names like Microsoft that are getting hit because of software. Microsoft's still up 68% in 5 years. Is it making all-time highs like Alphabet? No. It'll probably come back. It's Microsoft. Can anybody really get mad at Alphabet? Oh no. Oh no. Call the Bears, they won. Call the Bears, they won. It's ridiculous. 246% in 5 years. Hardly saying this is a scare tactics. Hardly going to say that this shouldn't be happening. A little bit of a breather is normal. Apple, 5 years, 135%. We've seen dips. We lived through them. It's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. Meta, look, you guys know, I think Meta's very undervalued. It's up 100% roughly in 5 years. I think it's undervalued here. I really do. I think that this is just going to be a consolidation base. If we go out 10 years, we've seen this story play out before. Don't forget, Meta went from 382 down to under 100. We've seen this story play out. Meta's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And then you got Tommy Dimes' favorite company, good old Cisco. Nobody wanted to listen. Crazy part is Cisco's still paying 1.7%. 10 years, Cisco's up 263%. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. This is not when you start getting scared. This is when you have your eyes wide open and you say, okay, am I taking money off the table because I'm a trader or a swing trader? Or am I going to look for my spots to invest in? Long term, the market's going to be okay. If we look at the SPY, everybody, and this is why I don't get crazy in downturns, and I say I don't care, and I truly mean that I do not care. Pullbacks are healthy. The market does not go straight up. 254% over the past decade, the S&P has returned. That's a 25% average. It's incredible. We've had really ugly periods, really ugly. COVID, incredibly ugly. And here's my philosophy on this, everybody. This is how I gauge my own fear monitor, okay? I know, okay, I'm going to get this thought out, then I'm going to come back to CNBC because there's something I desperately want to watch with everybody. Let me back it up. Okay, I'm pausing it. There we go. Here's my own philosophy. And I'm never changing this philosophy. Some of you have heard me say it. Some of you, this is going to be new. I gauge every market environment off of COVID. I know what it was like living in a city that shut down. I know what it was like driving through the city that was a ghost town. I have never in my life, not even at 4 o'clock in the morning, seen Times Square with nobody there. New York City was a ghost town. businesses were closing their doors. There was boards on businesses. Nothing was open except for essential services. And for that 2-week period or a month period, a lot of people had no idea what was happening with their jobs. Nobody knew what was going on. We had never seen part of the country shut down like that. So, is this worse than COVID? That's why I ask myself, is this period in time worse than the pandemic? And you can make any analogy that you want. Oh, Steve, they turned the printers on. They did this, they did that. Yeah, okay. But we still got through it, didn't we? We still got through what was probably the worst period we've seen. 08, we got through it. Maybe some people disagree with how we got through it, but we got through it. Liberation Day, got through it. And if you look at the structural bounce that we got off of Liberation Day and off of the March levels, looks pretty damn similar. So I don't think this is anything to get worried about long term. This is something that is a short-term product, most likely. This is something that is a short-term event. CPI is going to have the headlines going. As long as companies do not pull their guidance, which they didn't, and as long as companies keep producing earnings, I'm not going to get worried. I am still S&P 8,000. I am still of the mindset of being bullish, but you have to understand that we always go through periods of downturns. We always do. It's no different. Jake, what's going on? I don't buy into this whole sell in May thing. I'm not buying it. And here's why. That whole analogy, sell in May and go away, was because people were going away for the summer. People were doing this. Everything's automated now. You can trade from your phones. People have laptops with multiple screens that they pack in their backpacks. I mean, shit. Hollis brought a whole command station to Chicago with him. Okay. There's no such thing, in my opinion, as sell in May and go away. I think that's ridiculous. This is a 24/7 information driven society. And if you saw Hollis's room, okay, he brought a command station with him. It was actually really impressive. Really impressive to where I've been looking at what type of screens can I get that I can throw in my backpack. Rusty, I'm happy to say it. I don't care. And I don't care because you know what? It doesn't freaking matter. I will try not to curse. I'll try not to curse. And Rusty, thank you. I would have said it regardless. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Look, thank you, Hollis. Send me the links. And the reason that I can say I don't care is because I am not on margin, I am not leveraged, and I have a large portion of the portfolio in the S&P. Trust me, if you're in one stock and it goes down 50, 60%, you want to rethink your life decisions. I'm never putting myself in that position, ever. Okay. Now, I may not get the ROI that other people are going to get. And I fully understand that. I'm also not looking to, because I'm looking to protect a large portion of my portfolio, because I'm not looking to go backwards. So that allows me to sleep well at night. Maybe it doesn't work for everybody else, but when you look at this chart of the S&P, there's no reason to be scared. Inflation's going to go up and that's going to come down. Get ready for the CPI print. Today is May 12th. If oil does not come down to under 80 a barrel by the 15th or 16th, get ready for the May print that comes out in June. to be 4.5, 4.6%. If that happens, get ready for the S&P to be under 7,000, unless a deal is reached and unless they come out with big news from China. And that could happen. All right. That could absolutely happen. If you're a trader, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a trader. Watch the markets. There's probably big opportunities, especially when you get downturns like this. At some point, the dip is going to get bought. We'll see what happens. I want to hear what Lehmanthal said, and I'm going to give you my analysis on Qualcomm.
Also, there's been reports we're going to get into AI devices. So you think that's already priced in? That's already been pulled forward as well?
Yeah, I do. And, we had this, and Jason and I have talked about this a few times on the show in the last week or so. We had this earnings report from Qualcomm a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't actually that good. They lowered guidance for the quarter ahead, but everybody seized on this fact that they've got some unnamed data center client for their chips. That actually wasn't news, Jason. That wasn't news for those of us who have been in the stock, but the market seized on it, used that as the reason. Josh, this is maybe exactly what you're talking about. The price goes higher and it looks for a reason. And the reason was something that anybody who's been in the name has known for quite some time. Right. So there's nothing revelatory about what's going on at Qualcomm. Actually, the estimates are coming down.
There's one other aspect to this, which if you've been on the street for as long as the four of us have, the way this actually works is clients who are shareholders in funds complain, why aren't we in the AI stocks? Mm-hmm. Why aren't we? And the manager says, well, which of our holders? Oh, Qualcomm. They have a data center client. But then they get to tell their investors at whatever quarterly webinar people are suffering through, hey, no, it turns out you are in the AI trade. See, we added to Qualcomm last quarter. It's AI. It's AI. Don't worry. You're in data center. So a lot of stocks got swept up in the mania. And understandably, it's not like people are imagining this. There are trillions of dollars that are going to be spent in data center over the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah, you want that tailwind. If you're buying stocks, you want companies that are going to benefit from that. So, but things get taken too far. And then maybe you pull forward the next 3 quarters worth of gains into 1 quarter, and you got to chill out for a second. And that's what's happening today.
So listening to all of this, I'd love to hear what everyone thinks. The market throughout 2026 has done a lot of rotating. And the personality appears to be like a chameleon. It continues to just change. I think the question now is, if this continues, if we continue to see the momentum factor correct, which obviously means the data center, AI, Halo, and semiconductors correct as well, what happens next? Where does that rotation go? What is the personality?
Can I take a shot?
It's going to energy today.
You think it goes to energy? I think, first of all, it's Mag 7. I think it's Mag 7. Yeah. I think there's a degree of defensive.
Oh, really? Huh. Oh, really? Joe Terranova thinks Mag 7 becomes a beneficiary. Can't say I disagree. See what else they say.
In the nature, maybe it goes a little bit to healthcare, but I think first and foremost, it's Mag 7. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, here's what I think is, first off, nobody knows, right? Because the sentiment, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to, but the memification, which is what I'm going to call it, of any sector happens for reasons that, the butterfly flaps its wings wherever it flaps its wings, and we find out about it afterwards. But if you want a fundamental reason, I would say look at the cyclicals, where you are starting to see the earnings growth rate project higher over the coming quarters. And it makes sense with all of the things that are being built here in the United States. And it's not just data centers, it's other non-technology related factories on the back of the budget bill as well. You see this, by the way, in the ISM surveys. But look at energy, look at materials, look at industrials and financials. That's where I think you're coming next.
Before we get away from this trade snipe, you're also a Qualcomm shareholder. So I just want to get your take on him taking some money off the table. I think you cut your position by 50%. Your view of the idea that it's just...
I think it makes total sense, Frank. One, the stock is up 62% in the last month. It's only up 20% year to date. So guess what? 2 months ago, it was in the basement, right? So it's got caught up with the swarm and kind of the AI trade. To Jimmy's point and what we were talking about last week, the quarter was not great, right? There's some slow demand on headsets. Headset is their business. But obviously the guidance on 3Q, not great, but this kind of story on hyperscaler, some delivery of some custom silicone going forward, I think is what lifted it. But I think this makes a lot of sense in the run that it recently has had.
All right, looking at Qualcomm pulling back.
All right. We're going to get to Qualcomm. I just want to answer a question. Am I a buyer of Microsoft? Personally, yes, I am. That does not mean that you should buy it, but I am buying it for us. I really like Microsoft. I think people are completely dead wrong. And I'm able to talk a little to a lot more freely these days. And I can tell you, having negotiated the contracts and negotiated against Microsoft and running an IT department, companies are not, all right, let me put it this way. My opinion, companies are not leaving the Microsoft environment. It is just so crazy to think that that's going to happen that I'm buying it. Microsoft's quarter was incredible, and I'm a big believer in their future. Big believer. Now, let's look at Qualcomm. Let's look at Qualcomm. I was on the phone with Amit. Danielle made fun of me. Oh, Chels, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. You do so much. Thank you. I was on the phone with Amit at like 1 a.m. when Qualcomm was around 1:30. It was Saturday night, around 12:30, 1 a.m. We were talking about it, and Qualcomm took off. Now, semis started taking off, but yeah, no shit, it's down 13% today. Qualcomm is up in the past month 56.73%. Yeah, it's going to sell off. Just because it's selling off here does not change the financials on it. Qualcomm is a company, and I still shows you how busy I am. This would probably take me 5 minutes to fix. I have not had time. If we go into the cash flow statement, Qualcomm is a company that in the 2025 fiscal year did $14 billion of operating cash flow, $1.19 billion in CapEx. That's roughly $12.8 billion in free cash flow. $12.8 billion on a market cap of 216 is like 16 times free cash flow. I mean, that's today's market cap. I think when I was looking at it, it was 130, 140. Yeah, people made a lot of money, especially if they were buying options in a very short period of time. No shit's taking a breather. So you can't think, oh my God, sky is falling. Yeah, if you look at 1 day, the sky's falling. But on the 5 day, it's still up 8.5%. So there you go. Even pars have all trimmed. There's all different reasons of why. All right. For those of you not following Hollis, follow him on X. I got to tell you, his setup was pretty damn impressive in the hotel. Pretty damn impressive. June, I have no idea. Yeah, Chels, how crazy was that setup? The studio, the external monitors. I'm still shocked that he travels like that. I would not have the patience for that at all. Sergio, what's going on? I am planning on doing more work on Qualcomm. I think Qualcomm is a great company. The fundamentals of the company are very interesting. 1 day does not make a market. Please remember that. 1 day does not make a market. You have a combination of oil going over 100, CPI running hot, and a narrative that we are going to raise rates, not cut them. Yeah, the market's going to go down. That does not mean that we stop investing or we get bearish, period. All right, tech is selling off even further, everybody. Tech is now in the deep red, in my opinion. 3.24% on the index. Core Weave, 10%. Micron 719. You know what? Where's SMH at? Maybe I do it live. Let's say. SMH is down 5.23%. I mean, it's still at all-time highs. It is still at all-time highs. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to see if comes down a little bit more. But yes, I am getting very interested because I do think that this build out lasts a lot longer. I do think it lasts a lot longer. Tech's getting, look, a lot of people made a lot of money on tech. It's all right. And we know the SaaS story. We don't have to reiterate that. We know the SaaS story. People don't like SaaS right now. NVIDIA is giving a little back. And don't forget, this can all change next week when Jensen reports. Jensen could come out of the gate next week and absolutely slaughter earnings, which I think he's going to do. I mean, what was NVIDIA's guidance? Or what's the street expecting? So the street is expecting $78.93 billion of revenue. 78.93. In Q1 of last year, they did, this is going to be a crazy quarter, $44.06 billion. The street estimate is that NVIDIA is going to grow its revenue by 79.14%. I'm going to make an NVIDIA earnings preview. I have not created my model yet. I feel like they're going to come out with 83% year-over-year growth in Q1. 83%. My own opinion. I was pretty close on Palantir. I said 86%. They came at 84.5. I overshot by a little. You can't be mad at NVIDIA 217.32. You can't be mad at that. A lot of us have a cost basis in the low hundreds. If you're Tanner, if you're Captain Sleepy Time, Canada, you have a cost basis that people would kill for. But a lot of us are doing well on NVIDIA. A lot of us are doing well. I cannot make Reddit make sense. Reddit deserves to be higher the same way Salesforce deserves to be higher, same way Meta, same way ServiceNow, they deserve to be higher. Canada, yes. We call him Canada. One of his many nicknames. Canada, Captain Sleepy Time. There's some other ones that cannot be mentioned in public. So, yeah, I'm not saying Reddit is, I never said Reddit is software. I'm just saying Reddit makes no sense. The same way ServiceNow and CRM, they don't make sense why they're down. We are, listen, I need, yes, thank you, Michelle. And I think the next time we're at a meetup, we have to have a chant of that, is what we need to do. All right, Parzival, you never heard me say that, Captain Sleepy Time. You're going to hear me say it tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Tune in. I need to be very clear on something, okay? And I want everybody to really listen to this. I am not buying Build a Bear. Okay? Chris and I discussed this company. While it is mildly interesting to me, I am not buying it. Okay? Do not want anybody thinking I'm trying to do anything. I am not buying it. Now, if it gets even cheaper, maybe. But I have no interest in buying it right now. Chris made a very good argument. The numbers actually look very interesting. I don't like buying companies of this market cap. That is just my opinion. So I do not want anybody thinking that Chris and I are like moving into this or something. I'm not buying it. Full stop. I do not own Build-A-Bear. Okay? Once again, I do not own Build-A-Bear. All right. Rocket Money, 116.59. I mean, Rocket Money is holding the line. I know Irwin made a little joke on X today about ASTS, but I mean, the Space Mob is doing pretty damn well this week. Just saying. Just saying. Too casual. If you know any, let me know. Let me know. I have no freaking clue. That's not my game. All right. Meta's flipping green. We're under 600, but we're flipping green. Venture Global, 15% today. Gotta love it. 15%. This community is so amazing to fool. Thank you very much. You guys are great. Seriously, you guys are great. By the way, let's look at what GameStop's doing because eBay said have fun with that. Down 2%. eBay is up. I love eBay. eBay's up. Love it, love it, love it. What's Micron at? 713, huh? 10%? 10%. Let's do a little math. Hold on. We're going to do a little math. I'm going to bring it up live so we can do some math together. Because I don't feel like saying incorrect numbers. Here's the good old spreadsheet. I may talk myself into buying some live. Let's see. All right. We are at 713.53. If I start position here and it goes to 600, and dollar cost average, as long as I buy the same amount of shares, down to 656. And instead of being down, instead of being down 15.9%, we would be down 7.95%. Then if it goes to 500, and I double down there, because you have, look, you got to make a plan, right? I make plans. I make plans all the time. No, wait, what the hell did I do wrong there? Hold on, I did something wrong. So that divided by 2, this should be divided by 3, right? Why is that not working? What did I do, everybody? The hell did I do? Oh, that's why. Then not why now. Turtle, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So if I do 2 double downs, I can get my loss if it goes from 713 to 500 down to being only down 4%. That's the way that I would look at this. If I'm willing to start a position here, everybody, Micron, because Micron is at 713.53. If I was to think that today, hypothetically, was the lowest it's going to go for a little bit, I have to understand that I don't know anything and it can keep going further, and I got to be ready to buy on the way down. So if we're going to make a plan to make Micron a real position, I never do anything in one shot. Okay. I never do anything in one shot. All right, let's look at the 1-day chart together and then we'll make a decision real time. There's no confirmation that this is stopping right now. That's my problem. It's down 11.84%. There is, okay, June, you got jokes. What do you mean? Why? Because I have one strand of hair right here that's out of place? Like, come on. There, it's not out of place anymore. You guys all right? We good? We good? I am so sorry that my hair was distracting everybody. So sorry. And look, I'm not going to do crazy TA. All right. If you want crazy TA, I'll bring up my TA assistant if you want. I don't do TA, nor do I really care about it. MU for the long term. So for all you saying, that's how you look at a chart? No, this is how I look at a chart. How about that? Okay. How about that? Because I'm probably looking at more things than most people now. We'll see what the interpretation is going to be. Too many tools. How about not enough tools? Micron Technology presents a compelling secular growth story trading at 712.42, positioned 100 and basically 140% above its 200-day moving average, commanding premium territory with strong bullish Ikumushu cloud structure, spanning 505 to 596. The MACD histogram 4959 signals powerful underlying momentum that has sustained the stock's dramatic ascent through multiple resistance levels. Golden Cross formation confirms the transition from a cyclical recovery to what appears to be a multi-year expansion phase. Trades 89% above its 52-week range, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Immediate challenge lies in navigating severely overbought conditions across all timeframes. Monthly RSI at 8506, weekly 7836, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Key support emerges at Fibonacci level of 646.92. So You want to get on me for how I read charts? Trust me, I got tools for that. And I'm paying a good amount of money for this shit to be right. All right, here we go. The TD sequential showing up 3 and 9 bearish suggests potential near-term consolidation while the Fibonacci resistance target sits at 1,016.62, implying 42% upside potential for patient holders. A break below 630 would invalidate the immediate bullish setup and target a deeper 512.94 support level. Any pullback to the 630, 650 zone should be viewed as strategic accumulation opportunity for multi-year holders seeking exposure to memory semiconductor cycle. There you go. There you go. That's what my tools are saying. You know what? Screw it. Bear with me, everybody. We're gonna start position. Screw it. Obviously, I'm not logging in live for everybody to see my account information. We'll do it on my phone. Do 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 do. All right. I'm not even having that bad of a day. I'm really not even having that bad of a day. I'm only down 1.34% today. MU, Micron. So I see this and it keeps going down. I was all ready to buy, went down a couple more dollars. Does it break 700? 709.17, 708. I'm going to watch it live. I am committed to buying today. I'm committed. I know I cannot call the bottom, but it is still falling. Okay? It is still falling. $708.91, $708.90, $708.79. I feel like Tommy Dimes at the racetrack, everybody. I feel like Tommy Dimes at the racetrack. All right, I don't have patience for this anymore. I'm just buying. We are officially in the Micron trade, everybody. I'm officially a shareholder of Micron with Canada. There we go. Officially a shareholder with Canada. And I could care less if it's a bad buy. Could care less because you want to know why? I can just buy more. I could just buy more. Goes down to 600, I'll buy more. It's all right. It's okay. Don't worry about how many shares I bought. Don't you worry. All you need to know is I own it and I am committed to buying more because you know what? I said on basis points last week, I was getting very interested. The more research that I do on memory, the more that I think this build out last several years, we're going into Jensen that could revive the entire market for semis and memory next week, if that's even what you want to call it. So there we go. I don't do full port anything. Okay. Michelle is just showing off again. Leftover brisket for lunch. Showing off again. Now I want brisket. Yes, I did say I was going to get into day trading. No, I am not. I have not started the day trading journey yet. I have not had time, and I will start day trading at some point. not right now. And by the way, for those of you that follow raspberries over blackberries, Steve, you seem happy. Don't day trade. Listen, I want to explore my day trading fix. I've always wanted to do it. I've just never done it. Probably in the next month or so. But just for everybody's own information, I write a series on Seeking Alpha. I'm going to go to it right now. My dividend harvesting portfolio. I'm looking at my accounts right now, and this account is up 0.23% today. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And what's interesting about this series is I started this account with $100. Okay. $100. And every week I put in $100 religiously and I document what I do. The red line is the account value. The blue line is invested capital. The yellow is forward dividend income. As of yesterday, there's a typo. I've allocated 27,100. It's at 38,304. It's up 41%, $11,204 profit, and it is generating $2,994.54 in forward dividend income. There's like 108 positions in this with a 7.82% yield. Now, that account, there are two goals. The goals are risk mitigation and reoccurring income generation. Now, I started a new series for YouTube called the Dividend Farming Series. New episode will be out today at 2:30. Every Tuesday, you will get a new episode. I actually started a new portfolio with just income producing stocks, ETFs, CEFs, and BDCs. So closed end funds, business development corporations, ETFs, and individual equities. And instead of doing $100 a week again, I started with a baseline of about $4,500 or so, that area, built out a mini portfolio. And every week I'm going to add to it. There's no set limit. I'm going to keep it between 100 and 200 a week just to keep it somewhat realistic. And look, for some people, it's not realistic. For some people, it's a joke. It is what it is. It's what I feel like documenting. And every week I'm going to document everything I do. I'm going to document all of the income rolling in, et cetera, et cetera. And every week there'll be a new episode. I think this episode's about 18 minutes. And I love doing these episodes. It's so much fun. I love dividend investing. So that's going to be the dividend fix for everybody who's interested in dividend stuff. What do you mean it's literally the most realistic project to date? I mean, look, to some people, $4,500 is a lot of money. Some people, it's not. I mean, I'm just trying to keep it real. I'm trying to make sure that everything is transparent. And I want it to be something that people can relate to no matter where they are. If it's not a lot of money, you can add a couple of zeros to it and make it seem like a lot of money. For people who thinks it's a stretch, okay. I mean, I'm trying to put something out there that a lot of people can relate to. Reckless, I have no interest in accounting for taxes. Want to know why? Because if I have to pay taxes, it means I made money, so I don't give a shit. Period. I'm not one of those people that complains about paying taxes on investments. I complain about paying taxes on earned income, but you're not going to catch me complaining about paying taxes on investments. Period. And think about this. The series on Seeking Alpha, I've done it for 271 weeks. $100 I started with. The account is worth now more than $38,000, and it's generating almost $3,000 a year in dividends. Now, I did not document a growth series. I was planning on it, but I got similar stuff going. I got a lot of stuff going on in my portfolios. So maybe we'll do a full growth series for YouTube also. Could be interesting. Can I look at CAG? I have no idea what CAG is. Kungera Brands. If this is apparel, I have no interest in this. Food. I'll look at it at some point. I will look at it at some point. Jake Rizzo. California coming for it all, baby. The government's coming for all of it, period. NASDAQ is still falling, everybody. We're down 1.93%. NASDAQ is still falling. I like Intuitive Surgical. I need to do more work on it. SKM for Anthropic exposure? No. I am in BST and Amazon and Alphabet for my exposure to Anthropic. DRAM I'm not currently buying. Oh, we got new news on the OpenAI trial. Let's see what they're saying.
Organization and did not believe we were going to be successful. Again, 0% chance. Second, and related, he wanted to start a new AI effort at Tesla. He says he didn't want to be conflicted in that. In response to questions from his lawyers about Elon Musk's attempt to have majority control, Altman said on the stand, "I was extremely uncomfortable with it." It says at times Musk wanted 90% of OpenAI's equity as they started to talk about a for-profit structure and softened that at times, but it was always a majority stake. Testified also that Tesla and OpenAI talked about merging multiple times, not just once over the years. Says Tesla is a car company, does not have the same mission of OpenAI. Altman on the stand today has been reiterating this bigger point by the defense here that Musk actually wanted this to be a for-profit control. They argue it was the deeper issue. It's not about mission creep. Also talked about morale and stack ranking and some of the devices by Musk, his leadership style, and that being demotivating, as Altman put it, to key talent. Musk, the backdrop here, he's suing OpenAI and Sam Altman on grounds that he was deceived. He has said that Altman and Greg Brockman, the president of that company, stole a charity. OpenAI denies that. We're hearing Sam Altman's side of the story today. Frank, back over to you.
All right, Kate Rooney, at the very latest from a very interesting trial that has big ramifications for that company and a lot of the AI ecosystem. Kate, thank you very much. All right, stay with us. Final trades, they are coming up on halftime. A quick check on the markets before we go to break. Stocks trading.
My mic is muted. We will come back for final trades. What do you guys think of OpenAI? Do you think and this whole lawsuit? I think OpenAI is FTX all over again. Interesting. I don't know if I would go that far. I agree. It's not going anywhere. Lena, what's going on? Hopefully you're having a good day. All right, after final trades comes up, we will look at the markets again. I really like hearing the final trades. It gives me a little bit of perspective about things. Man, VG is ripping 14%. Ripping, ripping, ripping. Altria Group is back over 70, everybody. Verizon 48. People love those income stocks. They love it. We're not cooked. Listen, go get a blanket, wrap yourself in it, buckle down. It's going to get ugly for a couple of weeks, probably. Are we cooked? If you're a long-term investor, no. No. We're not cooked. If you're a short-term investor, yeah, it's going to feel pretty damn bad. Are we milked? No. Although a glass of whole milk may be pretty damn good right now. No, I have no interest in T-Mobile. I'm a Verizon and AT&T guy. Crispy bacon, I wouldn't know. I don't eat bacon. Verizon for that dividend, baby. All right, we're coming back for final trades.
And welcome back to halftime. We have some breaking news on the FDA. Let's get back to our Angelica Peebles with that news. Angelica.
Hey, Frank. Well, Politico is reporting that FDA Commissioner Marty McCary is resigning.
Who cares? Who cares? We want final trades. I'll come back to when we get final trades. I have a Palantir position. I own Palantir, so I am not interested, but I am getting more bullish on the valuation. Where are the final trades? Come on. Nobody cares about the acting FDA commissioner. Nobody cares. Yes, I own ServiceNow. Yes, I do. ServiceNow or Service Meow. We're not getting rug pulled. I'll go into it in a minute. Just give me a sec.
Joe, you're both in this name. Joe, I'm going to give you the first word.
So you should expect a record quarter once again. Record quarter once again. It is in the category of being momentum stock for sure. Hardware is critically important in the build out of AI infrastructure. And that's been represented in what has been a revival for Cisco from where it was perceived to be previously, which is an old school technology name. So it's back kind of in that late 90s mentality, but I think it's justified. I think it's warranted. I don't think you're anticipating here a real strong price performance reaction unless they have a blow it out quarter.
All right. By the way, Cisco very close to a record high, pulling back a bit now. Jim, you own this one as well.
Yeah, and this stock has had a great run for a long period of time, but I'm not trimming a share. Now, I think Joe may have alluded to this. I'm certainly not saying that it's going to go higher after earnings. What I am saying is this is a long-term holding that you can continue to hold for well after earnings release on Wednesday.
All right. So again, Cisco reporting its earnings after the bell tomorrow. Also, be sure to catch Closing Bell today at 3 p.m. Eastern. Our Scott Wapner, he's live at the Zone Conference in New York with just a jam-packed lineup. Exclusive sit-downs with Orlando Bravo, Jim Chanos, Mark Lazary, and David Einhorn. That's 3 p.m. today at Closing Bell. The judge will be there. All right, we're going to go to our final trades right now. Jim, giving you the first one.
Yeah, ExxonMobil just continues to print money while energy prices are high.
All right, Jason.
ServiceNow, Gen AI will be an accelerator to this SaaS name.
Joe T.
I like Netflix up there for final trades, but I'm going to go with Apple. I'm remaining long. I continue to believe the stock is going to make a push north of 300.
All right, Josh, you got the last word.
Netflix is making a higher low here in the mid 80s. I do not believe it'll revisit the 70s. Not moving higher yet, but could be breaking a downtrend.
right, before we let you guys go, one more look at the markets pulling back from the session lows. Right now, you can see the Dow just fractionally lower. The S&P still down 1%. The Nasdaq down 2%. The Russell down more than 2%.
Oh no, 73.41, everybody. Oh no. Oh no, it's down to 73.41. Oh no. Cares. Markets are doing well. Tommy Dimes, Cisco. I actually own 3 of those 4. Oh. What's this? Hold on. Micron 717? Did that just happen?
15% right now. It's having its worst day in more than 6 years. Of course, we're still on track for the chips to have their second best first half ever, and the street isn't too worried yet. Wells Fargo raising its price target on the biggest chip name, Nvidia.
Not going to say that I did that on purpose, everybody, but I may have picked up the bottom on Micron today. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. Who knows? Who knows? For the day, obviously it can go lower. This could go 500 or 600. So just a little joke. Anyway, are we cooked? No, we're not cooked. If you are a short-term investor, this is going to suck. CPI print came in, 3.8%, I believe? Hold on. 3.8%. Core came in 2.8%. Energy drove 40% of it. Structurally, it's not good. Okay? We're not cooked. We need oil under 80. Combination of oil going 101. Inflation running hot. It is what it is. This is not a rug pull. We're okay. No, I got Micron in at, I'll tell you how much. Hold on. $709 and change is where I got Micron. Striper Kid, I agree. If you're cooked, time to find another hobby. 100%. I tend to agree. Jake Rizzo. We may have caught a little bottom on that. Who knows? We'll see. It's all good. But look, I started a position at 709. Goes down to 600, I buy more. Goes down to 500, I buy more. That's the way mentally I set this up in my head. We have levels to how we're going to add. We're going to DCA into it. I need to be in the memory trade with everybody. Therefore, I am in the memory trade with everybody. That's all there is to it. It goes down to 300, we buy more. Unless something structurally changes. Carolyn, what's going on? Yeah, I'm in GLW. I've been in GLW for years. How many stocks do I own? Too many. Why am I not in DRAM? That's a good question. I don't know. How is Micron only 2.5% of this damn company? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying it yet. We'll see what happens. That would be pretty damn hard to do. I did see the Mandami scrapped NYC property tax. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to get anything political right now. SOXL. Come on. You can't expect me to start doing this. Come on. We're not doing a 3x levered ETF. That's down 20. This is why we can't have nice things. How degenerate are some people? Do you guys see what this says? $23 billion in this fund. This is a 3x levered semiconductor ETF. Are you freaking kidding me? This is what this has become? What are we doing? Matthew, I'm not being a hater. I actually very happy that this made you life-changing money. That is not my intention. I'm never a hater. I'm just shocked that a triple levered fund has that large of a float. Let's look at TQQQ. How big is AUM on that? Jesus Christ. $35 billion. Craziness. Craziness. Is Micron starting to run? Why can't this happen whenever I buy stocks? Usually it's the stocks I don't buy that runs. 727. Look at that. I bought it at 709. It's at 727. Did it live. Shit, if we had full port, it could have made some decent amount of scrap right there. Yeah, but 2% in 20 minutes is not bad at all. MU starting to milk again. That's hilarious. My two biggest Mag 7 positions are Meta and NVIDIA. What does BOIS mean? Seriously, I'm not trolling. I don't know what that means. Besides Meta and NVIDIA, my biggest positions are Amazon, Apple, Palantir, SoFi. Microsoft is getting there. Energy Transfer, Verizon. My largest position is the S&P 500. Everybody knows that, though. I'm in Alphabet. I just don't know if it's at that same level as the others. My average price on SoFi, I actually don't know. I'd have to calculate it. Man, crude is getting freaking scary, isn't it? Striper, very nice. SMH, I mean, you're killing it this year. Killing it. MU stands for Milk United. Michelle, what did you send me? Michelle, that's not nice. Michelle's sending me pictures of brisket, everybody. She's not being nice to me. That brisket looks so damn good. Oh, 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 so good. I do agree on Reddit. Now, look, I made a video yesterday. I don't know who watched it or not. I am down on Reddit. But I think it's a very interesting position. I am not abandoning the call. I think Reddit is undervalued. My own opinion. So we'll see. We will see what happens. I did want to watch, if I can find it. I got to hear what Ron Barron said. There's two videos that I did not get to watch yet. The eBay rejecting GameStop, I'm not going to watch that. Was obviously no shit that was going to happen. We are going to look at, I want to see what Ron Barron has to say. Maybe I'm being overcritical about SpaceX. So we'll see.
Ground to cover with our next guest, beginning with Elon Musk's SpaceX, which is planning the largest stock debut in history. So let's get right to Ron Barron. He is an early investor in SpaceX. He is the founder, the CEO, and the portfolio manager of Barron Capital, which started out in 1982 with $10 million in assets under management. By 1992, it had grown to $100 million, and today it is around $50.9 billion in assets under management. And Ron, I want to thank you for being with us this morning.
To be exact, $55,898,000,000.
55 billion?
55 billion.
Okay, when you were on with us in November of last year, it was 45 billion. What grew?
Oh, SpaceX grew. I guess I don't know, but I mean that's the big one. So that happens to be 15 billion out of our 55 or 50.
You know, I got a problem. I got a problem with the ultra wealthy having access to these companies when everybody else doesn't. I also have a problem with, if you are an accredited investor, and I can lay out the terms that were laid out to me, of getting shitty terms. Okay. Back when I was, and this is not the deal that fell through, I was offered SpaceX shares 2 years ago, and they said to me, when it goes public, they get, it was either 10 or 15%. There was a 2% carry. They couldn't give me any numbers, and it was a credible company. I'm not going to say what company, but it was, I didn't like the terms. I just feel like these companies, the mass majority of people, SpaceX, OpenAI, Anthropic, I think a lot of us, Andrew, would have loved to invest in these, but none of us could. Now, granted, I had access to them if I wanted to pay up and whatnot, but the terms sucked. They absolutely sucked. These, trust me, I'm not part of the elite. I can tell you that right now. These companies should be going public way earlier. I don't know why they're not. It is bullshit, in my opinion. And these large companies have made so much money. It's not their fault that they have access to it, but unfortunately, I do think that these companies, once they hit a point, they should go public. They really should. IPOing at $1 trillion or more, come on, that's insane.
$6 billion is SpaceX, and Tesla's our second biggest at $5 billion. So we made our clients $61 billion in profits, and ourselves, since 1992 when we had $100 million.
Hold on. Ray, you did not tell me this. I hope you enjoyed it, Ray.
61 billion came from 100 million. And now I think that in the case of Tesla, which we've been investing in, met them in 2010 in an IPO, It took me 4 years to become convinced that he was going to be successful. I thought he was brilliant, kept talking to him, kept visiting him. 2014, go to visit him again and said, man, I have to invest in this now. Now is the time. Stock triples from 25 to 75. I don't own a share. It doubles again. The pain is too great. and then we invest $400 million between 2014 and 16 and make about $8 billion so far in profit. And I think we're going to make 5 times that amount in 10 years. And then SpaceX, starting in 2017, because I have this relationship with him, it's very good. And I learn about SpaceX and I'm interested in it. I say, I'd like to invest in that. And they do these tenders twice a year in SpaceX because every single employee is a shareholder in SpaceX. They say, Becky, you are this fantastic engineer. You're making $250,000 a year, but you're now worth $5 million. Don't you think it'd be a smart thing to sell some of that stock a little bit to put the money in the bank and protect your family? So they have these tenders twice a year for $1 billion a piece. And we've been one of the largest, if not the largest purchaser in each of these deals. And recently, and they get oversubscribed without any announcements and no bankers, been oversubscribed in one afternoon. And so we're treated just like one of the largest institutions in each one of these offerings.
Basically, you are paying the employees so that they can become more liquid and hold on to those things. And that's how you've gotten your ownership stake
exactly.
in this private company to this
so we've
point.
invested
Which, by the way, that's part of the reason that this company has been able to remain private for so long.
Yeah, right. And so we've invested about $1.7 billion since 2000.
So basically, Ron Barron is buying stock from employees. Kind of makes you mad, right? Why is Canada calling me? All right, so this is weird. I guess I'm live on your channel and you're live on my channel.
Are you, I didn't know if you were still live. All right, someone just said you bought Micron.
Bought Micron at 709.
709.
Yep. And
Okay.
bought it at 709. And
Where's it going?
Well, what time frame? Tomorrow, next week, or in a couple of years?
Oh, are you buying it for a couple of years?
Yes. This is what I
And where's
said.
it going?
What I said is I'm buying it here, and I'm going to double down if it goes to 600, and I'm going to double down again if it goes to 500. And if it goes under 500, I'm going to have to reassess and either cut my losses or double down again, because I sure as hell know that I cannot call tops and bottoms.
You only call balls and strikes.
That's right.
Yeah.
But where are we going? We're going higher over the long term. We're going higher because I don't believe this build out is going to stop anytime soon. And I do believe you are correct in what you said, and we'll discuss it tomorrow night, that the analysts are wrong about 2028 earnings. And even if they're not, I think the stock is still cheap, but I don't believe this is a typical boom bust cycle.
I agree, brother.
Oh, no shit. Your average is like 370.
Yeah, dude, you almost nailed it right on the head. Yeah.
I did some quick math based on knowing the areas you bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's it called? Yeah, it's funny, right? Like everyone said that I bought at the top, and then people are going to say that you bought at the top, and then who knows where we go next. It's always hard to buy whenever stocks are going up.
You know what? It is what it is. At the time when you initially bought it, I thought that it had topped out for a while, and I thought it was going to come down. It did, and then the whole semi-market just went haywire. And I think it went up for a good reason. I don't think that Micron should be rated the way it is. We'll see what happens. Long term, I like it.
Yeah, we'll see. But, good for you to be in it with me. Now I have some people to blame whenever, it doesn't go the exact direction that I want it to.
You're going to blame me? Good luck with that.
I can blame you. You don't have to take the blame.
Oh, there you go. Oh, and you may want to know this. I think on Friday I'll be releasing a video about SoFi with a special guest.
Very cool.
With Mr. Timothy Sweeney.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I've asked Tim to come on and discuss it with me. So.
And have you had that call already or no?
No, we're going to talk on Thursday, and I'm just going to put it out Friday, I think.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we assuming that you can confirm this as well, we'll be live Wednesday night. Tomorrow night?
You mean tomorrow night at 8 p.m., yes.
Yeah, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, yeah. That time.
By the way, I know why you didn't come to Chicago.
Why is that?
Because you can't hang. I'm convinced that if you had a sleep score as bad as me, you would still be out of commission.
I probably would, dude. I can't in that instance. No, I can't hang.
On Friday night, I think I slept for all of 4 hours because the AC did not stay. Like, I like noise, and it just kept shutting off, and it would wake me up when it shut off. And then on Saturday, I slept 2.5 hours. So between the 2 nights, I got 6.5 hours of sleep.
I couldn't do that.
So
that sucks.
I'm convinced that you don't come to these things because of your sleep score.
I don't think that you should be that, like, you're talking like you've discovered this. I think I've said that out loud. It's just travel ruins my health. I just find like
whoa.
It gives you a hangover.
Michelle is saying that your significant other keeps beating your sleep score.
She beat it once.
Once.
And she decimated me. I put up 88. She put up 90. I just got her a whoop, and she's throwing up 97s at me. But whatever.
I mean, I think you ruined it when you hit 99.
Yeah, I don't. I'll wake her up before she gets 99. I won't let it happen.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right, I'll talk with you later. I'm going to keep the show going.
Later. Bye. There you have it from Canada. Canada. We are in Micron together. Lena, what do you mean what's happening to Tesla? It's down 3.8%.
2017, and that's now worth about $15 billion at current market prices. So of the 61 billion profits, 20 billion has come from him.
You have been somebody who has been an apostle, kind of speaking about this for years. I can remember having a conversation with you probably back 2020, 2021. You tried to convince me to do it. We're not allowed to invest, and I had to tell you that, but you were saying SpaceX is where it's going to be. This is the investment you really should get into. Had to say no the whole way through. You're now looking at this company about to go public, and what do you think the opportunity is here? What do you think happens?
This is going to become the largest company on the planet. This is so when you go public.
The largest company on the planet? Are you freaking kidding me? This is why I have a problem with SpaceX. I'm sorry. This is why I have a problem with SpaceX. Because of this shit. Now, before I go on my rant, let's hear what Ron Barron actually says.
I don't know if it's going public at 1.5 trillion or 1.75 trillion or maybe a little bit more. But where it goes public, I think that the company over the next 10 or 15 years is going to be worth 10 trillion, 20 trillion, 30 trillion. And I could be very low on where it's going to be. So today we can talk a little bit about infrastructure.
Why? Yeah, let's talk about why, because I think like 70 billion of that would be what the public can actually buy into, I think.
70 billion, exactly right. In fact, right after the offering, then they've changed the rules so that 5 days after the IPO is completed, there will be one index in which it will be included. 10 days, there will be another index in which it's included. 15 days, there will be another index in which it's included.
You're talking about the NASDAQ index?
The president of the New York Stock Exchange came, when I was young, I drove an ice cream truck one summer, and maybe a summer and a half. And one of the things that was important to me was I had to get my Carnival Bar ice cream truck to the beach route before Mr. Softy got there. And so so one of the guys in my office said, and the New York Stock Exchange president wanted to come over and talk to me for some advice. And my friend says, Pat Padalino is our chief operating officer, said, do you ever think when you're driving that ice cream truck that the president of the New York Stock Exchange is going to come talk to you for advice? Are you serious? And I said, well, I was able to beat Mr. Softy to where he was going. And so
he came to ask you for advice about whether they should put that into the index early?
Well, she was telling me about the different indexes, but she was also hoping that they would list on the New York Stock Exchange, and they chose the NASDAQ. I think they've chosen NASDAQ, which is where all the technology companies are. And she was saying that, there are all these other things that she could offer.
But that was part of the auction process where the two exchanges were bidding it up saying, hey, we can offer to get you into the index sooner?
I don't know. I think they've pretty much decided that as a leading technology company, they should be listed on NASDAQ where all the other large technology companies have been listed. But there's a lot. So what enabled this company is him. So he comes up with the idea that you'll be able to launch a rocket and reuse it. And no one ever did that before, and no other rocket company was interested in doing that, because if they did, then what would happen is that there would not be a demand for as many rockets. So nobody wanted to do this. And they always said it was impossible. They said it was impossible because nobody tried. Mm-hmm. And when they did try, nobody's been able to accomplish it. So that's what enabled this. That's what enabled us to have Starlink. Mm-hmm. And Starlink, after you have that, and we have the Falcon 9, then it brings it up and comes back. Then we decided, wait, there's a demand for in space data centers, and instead of having data centers on our planet, where it's very, very difficult to get. The governor won in New Jersey because she said our electricity bills are too high. We're going to stop this data.
I can't listen to Ron Barron anymore. I think he's gone nuts. Ron Barron, I would love to have a conversation with you, and here is why. $10 trillion. Okay. Let's just look at two companies real quick. And I'm about to rant. Okay. Daniel, I have no idea what you're talking about. Thank you for the super chat. All right. I am trying to stay calm. Right now, Tesla has a 1.6 trillion market cap. It has a larger market cap than Meta. Okay. You know what? I agree. I need a rant intro. I do. So here we go. These crazy people. Tesla's a bigger company than Meta, yet Meta does more than 3x the revenue. They have more revenue growth. They're CAGRing their revenue at a larger rate. EPS per share is dramatically different. Oh, margins shattered. Tesla has no margin, no pricing power, no nothing compared to Meta. The income statement, oh, really? Tesla, Meta generates like 9 times more gross profit than Tesla. 11 times more EBITDA than Tesla. 20 times or 19 times more operating income. What? 18 times more net income? Like, come on. The fuck are we doing? I am going to make a video about why people who analyze stocks by fundamentals and pricing don't do as good as people who just go with momentum, because this makes no sense whatsoever. And this is straight up annoying. This is why you get Ron Barron saying that SpaceX is going to be a $10 trillion company. Because of shit like this. It's insane. It's insane. SpaceX does $18.5 billion in revenue, or maybe 19.5 now. If you give them a 50% EBITDA margin, they do $9.5 billion in EBITDA. And they're going to IPO at a bigger valuation than Meta with $109 billion of EBITDA. What are we doing? What are we doing? This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't know what to say. I don't know. This is why we can't have nice things, everybody. Anyway, I think it's insane. Doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the market thinks, and the market likes it. So let the market like it. We'll see what happens. Dumb, but that's the market. That is the market. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. I must get going. My voice is starting to go again. I will see everybody later tonight. We'll have a quick half an hour to an hour session about where the market closed, and we will go from there. Dividend video dropping at 2:30 in about an hour. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I truly appreciate it. This is the best community on YouTube. Thank you so much. If you are going to go hang out with Tanner, say to him, sleepy time. Sleepy time, sleepy time. Thank you, everybody. I truly appreciate it. You guys are the best. See everybody later today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. See you later.